Hello, everyone, and welcome to another My Music. Today, I'm going to be talking to Evan, who is secretly inside a major institution at the moment. We can't say where, right? Major institution, coming live to speak to all of you wonderful people about the music of Skäl. There you go. It doesn't get better than this. We can't tell people where you are, though, because it's top secret. All right. We will be back after this to talk to Evan about this music.
Keep on, don't stop. Keep on, don't stop. Keep on, don't stop.
Hey, if you're watching this out there and you can guess where Evan's coming from, I'll send you one of these badges, okay, in the post. There we go. No one's going to bother guessing, but just in case they do, especially for a badge. Oh, it's like one of those things. If you say, "Oh, I'll give you 100 grand," or a motor car or whatever, like Mr. Beast does on his YouTube channel, everyone would go, "Yeah, well, I'll have a go at that." So I'll give you a badge. Do you know what? When I was a boy, though, a badge would have been it. That would have been.
Oh yeah, I love a badge. There's nothing better than going somewhere and trying to find a badge of your favourite band or something like.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Cool.
Still great merchandise, especially when you got like a guitar strap and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Listen, mate. If we ever see, I'll give you a badge or two. I've got some of these, which are for the podcast. So you just scan it and it goes through to the podcast. And I've even got some little pin ones. Look at that. With me.
Oh yes, the pin badges. See, that's what I mean. You got the best of both worlds. You got like the.
There you go. Tell us about Skäl. Where did it come from? Where did the name come from? When did you start this?
So it all started like properly as Skäl the unit as about it was last February. So not this February, gone like last year. So we've only been going for about a year and a half or so. But like the lads have been in a band previous to it called Riverstone. And then we kind of, from then onwards, we just we were thrown in the deep end straight onto gigs and stuff, and just been all moving since then. I've had the name, been sat on the name for quite a while, funnily enough.
It's a cool name.
I've seen it a few different times. I remember seeing it on the glass of a what is it, like a beer brand, shall we say? And I remember looking at it, I was like, I quite like that. And then I thought I'd have a look, see what it was with the two dots on the top. I'm sure it's got a professional name for it. I can't remember it. It then translated to Swedish as reason, cause, and motive. So I thought, what's the reason, cause, and the motive? It's the music, isn't it? It's like it's the mission of trying to push it out there. And then when you say Skäl, it sounds like Scally as well. So obviously, like around our parts, that's
Scally.
Bit of a classic lingo name, that isn't it?
When you say around our part, where exactly are you from?
So we're all from Winsford. So we obviously sort of derive from different areas of the country, in sense of some a family got from Liverpool, some from Macclesfield, but then we've all kind of met up in Winsford, and that's my home kind of thing. That's like our humble abode.
Winsford. It's not. Do you know what? It's not ringing any bells in terms of other famous bands from Winsford. Has there ever been anyone famous from Winsford before? So
we've got a couple bands going about at the moment. We got the Deja Vega and the Lucas State. They're sort of got good cult followings kind of thing. They are a really two quality bands. They're lads that I've been listening to since as a young'un, and then they're the ones that kind of get you into the music. So there's no one of a notoriety. The biggest thing of Winsford, I think, was Neville Southall played for us, Winsford United, through I think it was the 70s or the 80s.
Did he really?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he played for us, and I think he went to Bury and then to Everton.
Oh, there you go. So you've got a bit of a sporting heritage there, but not necessarily music. Are you going to be the ones that put it on the map musically, do you think?
We'd like to think so. My dad we'd run a music venue. We run a music venue currently, but I grew up above a music venue, and all these we'd see a lot of big bands and well-known bands come down and play, and then from going living above there and watching it from such a young age, you got to sort of see all these cool artists coming through, and you're just yeah. So I'd say my dad's a big inspiration on getting a pushing into the music. Like,
Yeah. Who was the first band that you saw live that made you think, oh, I want to do that?
well, I remember looking at like I'd go back to like the Lucas State and Deja Vega. They were called the Targets and Deadbeat Echoes back in the day. I remember watching them, and it was just being this little lad at the front bouncing about, and just like seeing people who you know and are close to doing it. That's what kind of gives you inspiration, and the real people as well. Like Big Scouse band, they're big inspiration. I can remember seeing they played there, and I was only young at the time, but like seeing bands like that, they're just like just seeing people who are just like still like quite, do you know what I mean, close to where you are, but like have such a big impact on you as such.
Just give people an overview. How many of you in the band?
So there's 5 of us. So you got me, I'm the lead singer. You got NC, he's the lead guitarist. You got Darcy, he's the lead / rhythm guitarist. Like he does a few diddly bits. You've got Adam, he's the bassist, and then got Tom the drummer. All quality lads, like unreal musicians.
Have they?
It's a genuine pleasure when I had the pleasure of joining the band and getting it cracking.
Have any of them actually studied music, or has everybody just learnt their craft by, playing?
So I think everyone's learnt the craft by playing, but like the likes of Enty, like if anyone like would be the 10,000 hours, I'd certainly say he's not far off. Like he is a unreal player, and like he understands. I currently go to university at the moment studying music, but it's that's like music industry and performance. That's what I'm doing currently, but I'm not exactly very theoretical when it comes to it. It's very there's a lot of it's winging it.
Is it? Well, I don't. This is interesting. When you get taught the business, right? Is there anything that you get? You can say now you're safe, right? Okay, but is there any stuff that you get taught about the business that you think, nah, that's not right? That's not what I actually are seeing out there when I'm.
I think a lot of what's obviously like not right as in like that's incorrect. I was going to say like what's wrong with the industry there. I was like, how long have you got?
Oh, okay, yeah. Right.
How long have you got? I don't know. I think people think it's quite easy. People think it's dead easy just to be like, oh, like you can create a band, but it's having to be now a content creator and everything nowadays. It's like it's not, the music doesn't just do the talking anymore. Unfortunately, you've got to do a lot more pushing for it, and people think, oh yeah, it must be easy to get played on this. It must be easy to do that. It must be easy to do that. It's like no, nothing comes easy. If anything, it's more tasking. If you're really passionate about it, it's like the music will help. If your music's good, then you've got like, you know what I mean. That's the basis. That's merely just like the biscuit of the cheesecake. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the starting point, isn't it? Really. I mean, if you're not producing something decent well, put it this way, you can make it and the music not be great. Right, because you get the rest of it right, but if you got the music right and you can get the rest of it right, well, then you're on to a winner, and you're on to more of a long-term thing as well, aren't you? If you've actually got good quality music as well. Oh
yeah, most definitely. It's like obviously you have to have it all recorded and everything, and then the more stuff you've got to have out there, the more things people can listen to.
Yeah. Now, talking about recording, you've got some stuff recorded. Where did you do that? When did you put that out?
So we did that over at Allo Sound in Widnes. There's a fella called Jono. He's quality. Like he's we've done both our first 2 singles with him, and he's done a couple of previous ones with Riverstone. And he's such a quality. Like he knows what we like. He understands our sound. And when he come back with like this mix of the Whites, like obviously the recent single, that is the first mix that was done. That was like obviously he sent us the mix once we finished the session, but then once he sent us like the mix, the master, that is the first one that was, because it was that good. Nothing needed changing. It was just like perfection. He's a big fan of him. Like he's a quality man.
I listened and I liked, and the thing is, what I feel I liked about it most is that there feels like there's a bit of attitude there. You say you've got attitude?
I'd say we would, but there's a fine line you have to cut of being like confident and having attitude, and then just being straight up looking like an egotist and very arrogant. like you have to kind of realize is that there's a middle balance there. So I'd like to think we stand with, like, all of us stand with a lot of confidence in what we've got and what it sounds like, but you can't get too ahead of yourself.
It takes a long time to become the Gallagher brothers. Right.
Oh, be better than them.
Well, there you go.
It's one of them. We can
Right.
both
You
write
know what I
songs.
mean in terms of that like cockiness and
Oh yeah, too right. Like I think they hit a perfect point, which I think if it's done correctly in this day and age now, like you can clearly see with what's going on. Like I went to go and see, well, I've seen them twice. I went to go Heaton Park, and that was like it was quite the experience. But you can see that sort of togetherness of people there, and I think that's the most important thing is that you could be as arrogant and as big-headed as you want. If you've not got the people and you've not got the people's respect, then you won't have like they have the reason to be like they can say that they've got this and that.
yeah, it's
They
interesting.
also thieved off the real people as well.
Both in terms of making music and making content and all of those things, right? It is, especially in this day and age, it is about the audience. It's not about you. So how do you go about making your music about the audience?
So it's like from a songwriting process. It's a great thing. It's like because you want it for the audience, you have to write in a sense that they will be able to relate to it, be able to relate to it in their own aspect. Also, like whereas be able to sort of we need to like write so it comes from the soul. Because when I'm writing, it comes from very like that comes from the heart. It's taking what was a bad thing and
Yeah,
turning it, if it's a sad song, and turning it into something, but also having to write it in a catchy aspect. So you've got hooks that'll keep people, you know what I mean? It's like with the whites, you got like the na, 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 na. It's like trying to have that little catchy bits that
yeah,
people will like, but at the same time not steer too much on having to like prioritize the people need to like this. Like if it's kind of a thing is if you write something good enough and you put your all into it and you can piece it together enough, then the people will just like it. Like it's one of them. Is I think weirdly enough, when you mentioned Oasis, Noel Gallagher said something similar. Like he mentioned, it was like the customer doesn't know what they want, but when they get fed it and they like it, then they know. If they will never know until they hear it. And I think we've had it quite a lot with the band currently as well. We've been going to places where we've not, I mean, we don't know no one there. It's like we're playing to fresh faces. It's like they don't know what to expect of us. They've probably heard the singles, but there's only so much that a song can project recording wise compared to a live performance. Whereas like that's where as soon as you come and watch us live, that's where you'll be like, that's where the listener and the people will they'll grasp it, they'll understand,
it's
they'll like
true.
it.
It's true. And like any of those great bands, the guitar bands from the UK that, you know, have made it and have done really well within their songs, they've all got those elements where, and I'm going to say this for folks that are out there listening who are my age, they've all got those bits which are dad music, right? Right? In other words, there's a bit of the song where everybody can sing it, even if they don't know the words, right? Because when you get to my age, you can't remember words, right? I'm sorry to tell you that, right? When you're young, right? When you're young, and your young audience will know every single word that you're singing, right? And will sing it passionately. That's because they've got the time to listen intently over and over again. When you get older and you're busy and you know your mind's divided by listening to music and doing this with the kids and whatever else, you just need that bit in the song that you can catch on to and you can do regardless. Then later on you might learn the words.
Oh yeah, definitely. And that just spans through the basic thing. It's all frequencies, isn't it? Like you think about how many different songs or different things can be like even if they just remember like a do 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 or like it's just something like that, something
Nah,
quick, easy.
and we all
Yeah.
go Kasabian, right? And you just go, yeah, there you go.
One of my favorite bands of all time, like
Right.
the OG Kasabian. That was like, yeah, big winners.
But there you go. It's like, you know, the little bits like that. It's like everybody can sing that bit. Everybody can get behind that bit, right? And it's that's the bit that pulls you in. That's the earworm. That's the moment where it's like everybody can come together, regardless of how bad they are at singing, regardless how.
Well, that's
how
it. Well, just figured out then with the Whites, like is the most recent one. It's like even if you don't know it, there's that little bit where it's like we'll have the and it'll go like I'll just scream this and it's like even if you don't know anything else of the
you can
song,
go
and that's the release in it. It's like that sort of boom. And then there's a video that we got like just a phone recording from like the single launch that we did, and it was just like as it come in from like NT's Crazy Mad sort of the and it comes back in, and then it just goes quiet, and I just go jump, and all of a sudden you just hear people go ah, while these heads just sort of bounce about, and it's just like, oh, it's one of like that is there's no feeling that can
Well,
replicate
that's what
that.
I was talking about in terms of the attitude. That's what I meant. I didn't mean it in like it's a like a bad ego way. You just want people to have it. Don't
Oh,
you?
when you're on stage, it completely takes over. It's like I'm a totally different person in person compared to when I'm on stage, because when you say, like, going back to saying about people, like you have to play for other people, but at the same time, when you're on the stage, like that's like the only people that are there are the four, like, do you know what I mean? The four lads like behind, like, or like to the side, you know what I mean? It's just like
Yeah.
like that you're in this little, it's like you're back in the practice room again, and we're all just sort of like moving and grooving, and then when it gets to that point of like having songs as well where they have like little catchy bits, you can play on stage, and they might not always have like, might not be the greatest things. We've got a song where it's like a da 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 da, and you play it, and if people don't do it like there, it's like you're writing that for like, you never know when a couple of years time, when like you're playing to more people and people have heard it and it's out and people know that there, and then it's like
Is your worst nightmare at a gig? Is your worst nightmare like people stood there doing that?
To be fair, so if you're on your phone, you're in silence. You know what I mean? It's people. Do you know? Have you ever gone to like acoustic gigs and stuff, and like someone's playing something dead intimate, and you can just hear someone in the back of the room just waffling, and it's like, I'm sick of your voice, mate. It's like, I'm coming here to watch you. I'm not coming here to watch you. You know what I mean?
It's true. It's true. You're seeing the most beautiful moment happening in front of you. Intricate, difficult. You know, the voice is just about to break and whatever.
A mastery of the art. You know what I mean? Someone who's crafted this.
Absolutely, and it's like, yeah, at the weekend. No.
When you said about the phone as well, was that more so like people looking at the phone or people recording whilst they're at gigs?
Well, I don't. Do you know what? I feel it's a great thing and a bad thing. I feel it's important that, you know, people perhaps take that moment or so where they share a moment or so of the gig, but don't stand there for the whole gig recording.
You couldn't took the words straight out of my mouth there. Like, that was exactly what it is. It's just like, I've seen too many people, and it happens at raves as well now. Like, I'm quite like a rave as well. And unfortunately, it's like back in the day, you know what I mean? It was all about, there was no phones, everything was just there to love, and people were there to party. And now you see there, and they're waiting for the drop, and it's just stood there looking at it. But like, it's when they're looking through the phone as well. It's like most of my videos that I've ever had from gigs are all wobbly because I've been too busy flinging my hand in the air or something.
There's a really good little meme going around on Instagram at the moment like that, where it's like raving back in the day, and then it's raving today, and it's like raving back in the day, and everyone's mashing it and doing this and whatever, and it's raving today, and it's just thousands of people stood there going,
it's not for me. That it's like the whole point of it is like you're living in the moment. You've paid this money to be here. It's like, I'm all for people getting memories. Like, I'll always, like I said, I'll catch a couple of vids, I'll catch a few photos, and like, but when I'm there, like, the majority of it is I want to be sort of like living in that moment.
Yeah, no, it's not the right thing to do, folks. You know, go to the gig.
But at the same time, if it's like independent artists like us, we need people to probably video something. We need people, because like the more it's a catch-22. You know what I mean? There's like there's so much that can sort of be benefited from it. But when especially, there's been a few. I think I remember seeing it was Pulp were doing like an in session with BBC, or like they were doing like a live gig, and then I'm seeing people with the phones videoing it, but it's being recorded for the telly. You know what I mean? You've got like, you're getting professionally recorded footage here,
yeah.
And because you need that quick video just so you can show your mates that you're at Pulp, I'm saying, oh,
yeah.
Like, you've had this luckiness to be like this intricate sort of intimate port, like sort of pub like gig, and then choosing just to be like that.
Well, because of what I do, I mean, I quite often will do like maybe like 30 seconds of a song.
Yeah, I'm the same. You're the exact same as me.
And then I'll post it and I'll say, cracking night, you should have been here, la 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 la, and then jog on, and then the phone goes in the pocket, and that's it for the rest of the evening, because, you know, I just want to enjoy the evening, you know. That's
it. I like taking it, especially if there's like an independent gig. Like, I'll always make sure, if like bands are supporting us or something, you like to try and, like, even if I've got a video just myself, it's like getting a video of them, taking a couple photos or something, and then like just sharing it on the socials. Like, as independent bands go, like it's all scratchy backs. But it's when you see like it is the big gigs, and you know the songs where like there's going to be this sea of phones, and like we've referred to Oasis a couple times, and like there was a lot of people who were living in the moment. We were surrounded by a lot of people, but then you look up and then it's like you listen to like songs like what Bring It On Down, and I'm just like, yeah, no way. And like you see no phones, but then as soon as obviously your main ones come out, Bone Flats it, then it's like just hundreds of sea of phones. And yeah, that's the songs that people love and people enjoy. Capture that 30 seconds, capture the favorite part of the song that really feels with you. Don't stand there because you're wasting the moment in the time just by doing that. It's like it lasts for it.
I do feel when when I listen to your music, I do feel like you could be sort of like you could capture a moment at the moment, and I think that's a great thing if you know what I mean by that. And the name does look great on. You've got a picture of it on a hat, haven't you? Like a bucket hat.
Yeah. So so long story. We're meant to go to Gibraltar. We're meant to be playing a festival over there. So my mum decided, like as a surprise, she'll make like these 5 boonies up. And just sort of obviously like make one for each of the member of the band. So then yeah, we had them done up, and they're dead cool. Like I've always thought that'd be a great merch idea. It's like, but do you know what I mean? Like a proper embroidered sort of, because everyone does bucket hats nowadays. Everyone's like, oh, bucket hat. But the boonie's got the strap. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's got the strap, has it? Right.
Yeah. So like, if it's got that and you stick it on, if you go and bounce the pits or something, like your hat's not going to fall off your head.
Oh,
It's heavy duty. You know what I mean?
Oh, I like that. I like that. So, folks, I'd love to know if you have a look for the Instagram afterwards, see if you can see it. If you'd like one of those, do let them know, right?
Yeah,
get enough
most
people.
Definitely.
You get enough people say that they want one of those, they might get a little consignment of them done. That'd be great, wouldn't it? You know?
Oh, too right. Yeah, we've been thinking about merchandise and stuff because that's like we're still in the process. All I've been doing is I got like about 1,000 odd stickers done. So everywhere I go, it's just like Skäl sticker. Find the coolest places.
You need,
and then
you need to do the badges as well, right?
Yeah, badges. Yeah, badges, lighters, and stickers are always a good little run.
Lighters. Do you know what I mean? Someone said recently, I sometimes have conversations with, and this board behind me, folks, if you haven't seen it before, these are different people that have been on in the past. And so it's quite interesting, the difference between English bands and American bands. The American bands are like way ahead when it comes to merch. Sorry, but they are. And several of the American bands have got their own hot sauce. Right, as merch, right, which is brilliant. But a few people have said, but I don't get it. Why hot sauce? But here you go, right? What you're saying is lighter, right? Hot sauce. Think about it. It's all part of the essential kit for an evening out, right? You go to the gig, you might need to light up afterwards. You're going to stop on the way home. You're going to have a few jars during the evening. You're going to go and have that kebab. Tastes like hot sauce out, can't taste anything. Brilliant. Do you see what I mean? It kind of completes the whole ensemble, doesn't it?
I think if you've got the hot sauce, you're gonna have to do some bog roll as well at the same time. Like, you know what I mean? There you go.
For when you get back in.
Yeah.
Oh, love it. Yeah.
But yeah, it is having essential items as a thing. Like I thought I'd quite like because everyone gets like home bars now, haven't they? Everyone's made like a sort of like a bar in the back garden or like a little cave where they go. I've always thought like a good like obviously beer mats for a start, yeah, but like
the beer runner.
A drip tray, yeah, runner as well. Yeah, like
I love it. That would be great.
But beer mats also that like you'd be able to buy them in bulk. Like there'd be because unfortunately it's money in it. Like trying to do merchandise it's having the expenditure to do it.
Would you like to get to the point like I 2 years ago now, yeah, I interviewed the Sherlocks, and they've now got their own beer. Would you like to get to
they run their own pub and everything, don't they? They've got them,
exactly.
It.
Would you like to get to the point where you've got like your own lager or whatever, and you got the drip mats for the lager? That'd be great, wouldn't it?
Oh, most definitely. Well, where I go to uni, Andy from Travis, like he's one of my tutors. And obviously, like where the pub where we run, like my dad, is like they've got a Signature Brew, which is obviously one of the companies, and they have like Travis and Signature Brew did a collaboration. They've done with quite a few bands, but that'd be something I'd like to do because they have like a venue thing there as well, like, and to be able to work with like a sort of independent sort of like beer company to be able to do something like that would be quality because like they come hand in hand. You know what I mean? Like any industry that supports the music industry is a huge help, and you know what I mean. You can make a fair bit off the old ale, like, can't you?
Oh no, absolutely, and some of them have got great names as well. I now don't drink beer with alcohol in it, but I have to say, especially when they go out in the Bristol area, there to gigs. There's a company, the Bristol Brewery Company. I think I'm getting this right. They've created a beer called Clear Head, which is brilliant. What a great name!
Yeah,
and 10% of it goes to a mental health charity as well. I think there's so much we can do together if we all come together. Do you agree?
100%. Yeah, like that's the priority of things. Is unfortunately we live in a country now where everyone's very divided, and it won't get too deep into it, but there is a big division sort of side of things at the moment. It's just like there's not enough people working together to be able to sort of like help benefit each other's industries, help benefit each other's sort of, especially when you're talking about mental health and the sides of alcoholism towards poor mental health and everything. It's like there's a lot of sort of, what's the word?
Connectivity.
The connectivity it's another CO word, sort of, yeah. But you get me message. It's just like that needs to sort of, there needs to be more focus on stuff like that. So having something like that, so I'm guessing it is a alcohol-free beer or something. If it's called Clear Red, yeah, which is like that's quality. That's essential, and that 10%, if it goes well, and if that has become a countrywide thing that you had like an alcohol-free beer on draft, and that 10%, then that it's a huge amount of money that can go towards the right things because there's too much money going sideways and left ways that isn't being put back into this country what needs to be put in. Fortunately, it's going into rich people's pockets.
Yeah. I'm not going to ask you about politics, but it sounds like
let's keep it to music for now. Like, start getting too aggy.
But I'm just going to. It sounds like you've got views, and perhaps if this all takes off for you as a career, that you might leverage some of your position to actually, make a few wise.
I would, as personally, yeah. I'd like to kind of separate the band from anything like that because obviously there's a lot of things I'd like to be able to sort of speak upon if it was needed to be spoken upon, but like at the same time, is like there's a fine line. Like I'm all like the amount of political artists coming through now is like I extremely support like everything that's going through at the moment with everything. It's like it's nice to see that there's people who are willing to stand up for it because obviously Mo Farah from Kneecap, he's doing, it's his trial today, isn't it? But so it's like having stuff like that for people to be tarnished for the sense of freedom of speech and standing up for other humans. Like it's quite a tricky place we're living in at the moment. But that's where I'd like a lot of music to do talking, whereas I won't over politicize the music. But if I had a position of what I would class as power or like voice, I'd make sure that powers were used for the people. You know what I mean? Brought to actually a bit of properness back into the country because unfortunately everything's like seeing like grassroots venues going down just like that, and it's just like saying that this money's being put into it, but unfortunately there's a lack of trust as to where to know this money's going. It's like I think obviously after how much money has been put into all the country from Oasis going here, there and everywhere, you know what I mean? You'd like to think that like there's a small percentage. I've always thought big gigs, any arena gigs, any festivals, there should be a percentage of what is gone from a ticket to be put into a respected and registered fund, you know what I mean? Something that is like monitored by the correct people.
Did you read my Guardian article?
No, is it very similar, is it like?
Well, I was interviewed for the Guardian ahead of the first, literally the day before the first Oasis gig, and don't want to say anything negative about Oasis. I think it's great that they come back and they put the hard work in and everything else. But I was asked what do I think, etc., and had my photo taken in front of the portrait of the brothers that's up in Cardiff at the moment and whatever, that you the Wonder Wall, as it's called, that people can go and see. And do go and have your photo there, because it's pretty cool. But I was asked what I think, and I said, look, my only criticism is this. I said I would have liked to have seen Oasis, for a start, perhaps had a support act there that on each part of the tour who was an up and coming band, right? I totally get that, you know, where they went with it in terms of cast and you know, Richard playing with the Verb songs and whatever, but I just felt that, you know, there was an opportunity there. And yeah,
well, there was well, when we went to Heaton Park, there was 3 hours from getting through to the gates, like the gates opening to like cast being on. And it's like there'd been plenty of time, even like the fact of like, even if there was like not that many people there, like, but there was guaranteed to be, because people wanted to get the front standing, people wanted that. There was you're right, there was the opportunity there to have gone, right, let's go and find just some artists who like we like, or do you know what I mean, that they've looked upon. Let's go just throw them on. And that's where there isn't enough support. And unfortunately, you get now, when that you get for support for gigs, you have to either be on their management, or you have to know a person to know a person. And it's just like,
yeah,
unfortunately, there's too many like T's and C's now before you can even get like a sniff of anything. Like,
and you're right. I'd like to see some of that money from the big gigs, which are brilliant. Those gigs are brilliant. I know they cost a fortune to put on, but I would like to see some of the money from those multi-million-pound gigs that like make a lot of money. I'd like to see that pushed back towards grassroots, you know, smaller venues, etc., that are closing, because that would be great. You know, we need it.
Well, that's it. If you want the future of music to stay alive and stay away from roboticness, you know what I mean, you're going to need to be putting funds into it, even from as young as like from high school. And like the amount of like performing arts departments that are so underfunded and not enough excitement to it. There should be sort of focus on people like doing. It's like a songwriters day, like mixing music and English together and go, here's some of the classic songwriters of our generation. We're going to learn about them today, and we're going to do this, like, play them the songs. Like, this could be you. This, if you like, you can write like this. This is a sense of therapy. You can sort of, because my greatest sense of therapy, the greatest thing that clears my head is writing songs and being able to sit there and be in the lowest point that you've been at, and then writing something so somber, and then taking it into the band, and then it being created into something which is now a positive, because when the lads get hold of it, it's magic every time, because they are unreal. And that feeling, you can't have that replicated by all this AI music coming out now and everything like this. It's like, it's an insult to every great artist who's walked upon us, you know what I mean? It's like, if there's no funding and there's no pushing towards it, then it's just going to be pushed under the carpet. And then it comes to the point, then how long is it until everything is just like, there's no good music whatsoever? It's all robotic. It's all the big like fat cats of the industry who are able to sort of like, we don't need to sign you because we can just hire this free robot that's going to make us a song,
and it all disappears, and we don't want that to happen. Listen, my friend, thanks for coming on and talking today.
It's all right. Yeah, we had a bit of a ramble here, haven't we? Like, to be fair.
You know, but the main thing that people can do now is that they can rejoice in your music that you've already got out there. Do go and support, right? That's the main thing. Listen to the music that they're already making. You know, if you see the music on a playlist or whatever, add it to your playlist, and go and stop. Do connect to the band on the Instagram or whatever else that you're on, and go and say hello. All right. It doesn't take 2 minutes to stop and say
Costs
hello.
nothing, does it?
Costs nothing.
And you never know, you might find your favorite band.
You might just do that, right? And you know, you might be part of their journey. That's the important thing as well. Sometimes that's what it takes. You know, become part of, make people part of your personal world, right? Then go and support and say, yeah, I'll buy a hat, or I'll buy a t-shirt, or I'll download a song or whatever. And then suddenly everybody's got a Skäl hat with the little tie-up bit, because that'd be great, right? And then walking down the street, and everybody else goes, oh, that's cool. Where'd you get that from? And then it's like, you know, and then it balloons, and then that's how it happens.
Give it a few years, promise you.
Few years,
we'll be making some noise.
You watch Glastonbury in a few years' time, and everybody will be wearing a Skäl hat. Oh, just watch.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. Listen, mate, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you today, Evan, and thanks.
And
for
you,
coming
Graham,
on.
I appreciate it, mate. It's been quality.
Thanks, folks, for watching. You're important too. You make this happen by just giving out a little bit of your time. We will be back soon with more of my music. Until then, from Evan and myself, bye for now.